I tested all of the best camera for YouTube of 2026, and in this video, I'm going to rank them in a tier list based on their value for money, overall performance, and more. Links to all of the products will be in the description below. Nikon Z63. This beast is a total hybrid powerhouse that finally brings 6K raw recording in camera, which is a massive win for high-end creators who want that professional flexibility. I love how snappy the autofocus is for wildlife or sports, though I have to be honest, the dynamic range is a bit of a letdown compared to the previous model, and the shadows can get pretty noisy when you try to pull them up. It's clearly built for the serious filmmaker who needs speed and ruggedness above all else, so I am putting this firmly in the great tier. Fujifilm XS20. I am genuinely impressed by how much punch this compact camera packs, especially since it offers 6.2K open-gate recording that makes it a dream for anyone shooting for both YouTube and TikTok. While the autofocus is a huge step up from older Fuji models, and the battery life is actually reliable now, the lack of weather sealing and the tiny buttons can be a real pain when you're out in the field. It's the perfect all-rounder for a travel vlogger who wants those legendary film simulations without the bulk, so I'm ranking this as good tier. Canon PowersShot V10. This little guy has such a unique, pocketable design with a built-in stand that makes it so easy to just set down and start talking to the camera anywhere. Unfortunately, the dated contrast-based autofocus really struggles in low light, and the lack of optical stabilization means your handheld footage might look a bit shaky unless you're super careful. It's a decent entry-level tool for someone who just wants a dead simple point-and-shoot experience for casual vlogs, but for me, this lands in the average tier. DJI Osmo Pocket 3. I absolutely adore how this tiny gimbal camera fits in my pocket while still delivering stunning 4K footage thanks to that impressive 1-inch sensor. The face tracking is a lifesaver for solo creators, and the audio from the built-in mics is surprisingly crisp, though I do wish it was weather sealed, so I wouldn't have to hide it the second it starts drizzling. It is hands down the most convenient tool for a run-and-gun vlogger who wants professional-looking stability on the go, which is why I'm placing it in the good tier. Insta360 X5. The jump to 8K resolution on this new 360 camera is wild, and the larger sensor finally makes shooting in low light actually usable instead of a grainy mess. However, the file sizes are absolutely massive, and if you aren't an expert at reframing your shots in post-production, you're gonna spend way more time editing than you ever intended. It's an incredible niche tool for action junkies who need to capture every single angle, but since most YouTubers won't need that extra complexity, I'm putting it in the average tier. Sony ZVE1. This thing is a low-light beast that literally sees in the dark, and that AI-powered auto-framing is like having a personal cameraman following me around. I love how tiny it is for a full-frame sensor, but man, it gets seriously hot and shuts down way too fast during long 4K shoots. Because it delivers that gorgeous cinematic look in such a portable body, I'm putting this in the great tier. Nikon Z8. I am absolutely obsessed with the 8K internal RAW video and how it handles like a professional cinema rig in a much more manageable size. While the lack of a fully articulating screen is a massive pain for vlogging myself, the autofocus is so sticky and reliable that I barely have to worry about missing a shot. This is the ultimate powerhouse for anyone who wants zero compromises on quality, so I'm ranking it as God tier. Sony ZV12. This little pocket rocket finally got the wider 18mm lens we all begged for, making it so much better for those arm's-length vlogs where I actually want to see the background. It's missing a headphone jack and the internal stabilization is pretty mid, but for a simple point-and-shoot YouTube setup, it really holds its own. It's a solid, reliable choice for creators on the move, which is why I'm placing it in the good tier. Panasonic Lumix S5 2X. The colors coming out of this camera are just delicious, and having phase detect autofocus finally makes it a viable choice for my solo YouTube recordings. I'm blown away by the internal ProRes recording and that SSD support, though the body is a bit beefier than its rivals, and the battery life could definitely be better. It's a dream for serious filmmakers who want that professional edge, so I've got to put it in the great tier. DJI Osmo Action 5 Pro. I'm genuinely impressed by the 4-hour battery life and how it survives being tossed around, making it my go-to for any rugged outdoor content. The low-light performance is surprisingly decent for a small sensor, though it still gets a bit grainy when the sun goes down compared to the big mirrorless boys. It's the perfect secondary camera or action rig for any creator, and I'm comfortably sitting it in the good tier. Sony FX30.
This beast brings that professional cinema look to a compact body without the terrifying price tag of its full-frame siblings. I love the internal 10-bit recording, and the fact that it never overheats thanks to that internal fan, though you'll definitely feel the lack of a viewfinder if you're trying to snap photos in bright sunlight. It's the ultimate set-it-and-forget-it tool for serious creators who want high-end production value, and that's why I'm officially putting this in the great tier. Sony ZVE1 II. This is basically the gold standard for vlogging right now because it's so tiny but still lets you swap lenses and record beautiful 10-bit color. The built-in 3-capsule mic is surprisingly decent for quick clips, but honestly, the rolling shutter can still get a bit wonky if you're moving too fast. It is perfect for anyone moving up from a smartphone who wants that blurry background look, so I'm placing it firmly in the good tier. Canon EOS R50V. This little guy is specifically built for creators, with its dual tripod sockets for vertical shooting and a dedicated tally lamp so you actually know when you're recording. I really appreciate how the dual-pixel autofocus just nails your eyes every time, but being stuck with a crop on 4K 60 FPS is a bit of a bummer for wider shots. It's a solid, reliable choice for people who just want a camera that works without a steep learning curve, which earns it a spot in the good tier. Fujifilm XH2S. The speed on this thing is absolutely insane thanks to that stacked sensor, making it a monster for both high-end video and fast-action sports. I'm obsessed with the F-Log2 dynamic range and the gorgeous film simulations, but the autofocus, while good, can still feel a tiny bit behind Sony's flawless tracking in some scenarios. It's a powerhouse for professionals who need a hybrid that can do everything at a high level, so I'm giving it a great tier rating. Insta360 Ace Pro 2. This thing is built like a tank, and the flip-up screen is a total game-changer for framing yourself while doing something crazy outdoors. The low-light performance is actually impressive for a sensor this small, though the 8K feature feels a bit like a gimmick, since most of us are just going to stick to 4K anyway. It's the best choice for travelers and action junkies who need something indestructible, so I've decided to put it in the good tier. Sony Alpha 7.4. This is the most reliable hybrid I've used, giving me 7K oversampled 4K that looks incredibly crisp. The 4K 60p crop is a bit frustrating when I'm trying to get wide shots, and it can still get a little warm if I'm pushing it in the sun. It's the go-to recommendation for any serious YouTuber who wants great autofocus without spending a fortune, which is why I have it in great tier. Sony Alpha 1 Mark II. This machine is an absolute beast that handles 8K at 30p and 4K at 120p with a stacked sensor that basically eliminates that annoying rolling shutter. I love that I can get such high resolution without sacrificing speed, though it is a bit of a bummer that there's no internal RAW recording for a camera at this price point. It is clearly the ultimate choice for professionals who need zero compromises, and that's why I'm putting it in God tier. Panasonic Lumix GH7. The internal ProRes RAW and that built-in fan are lifesavers because I never have to worry about this thing overheating on me. The Micro Four Thirds sensor does struggle a bit in low light compared to the full-frame rivals, and the body feels surprisingly bulky for its sensor size. It is a dream for studio creators who need unlimited recording and pro codecs, so I'm placing it in great tier. Canon EOS R5 Mark II. I am obsessed with the new C-Log2 and the eye control autofocus that makes tracking subjects feel like magic. While the video quality is stunning and the 8K capabilities are top-notch, you have to keep an eye on the battery life and potential heat during long 8K sessions. This is the perfect do-it-all workhorse for high-end creators, so I'm definitely ranking this in God tier. Nikon Z52. I really enjoy the new product review mode, which makes it so easy to show off gear to the camera without focus hunting. It finally gets 10-bit N-Log and 4K 60p, but that 1.5x crop at 60p is massive, and the lack of in-body stabilization means my handheld shots can be shaky. This is a fantastic first step for someone moving up from a smartphone, and for that reason, I'm putting it in good tier. Thanks for watching. I hope this video helped you pick the best camera for YouTube for you. If you have any questions, drop a comment below. Links to all of these products mentioned in this video will be in the description.